Greetings and welcome to another exciting Excel tutorial. Today, we want to cover another basic function in Microsoft Excel called if function. In this case, there is if and a condition whereby you will use if inside if, that is nested function. But today, we must cover what and what? The gates in data analysis, and gate or gate. Inside this if function, we are going to be dealing with the nested function. If you could remember our previous program, or our previous lecture or tutorial in the same Microsoft Excel, when we talked about if, some ifs. There are conditions that follows it. But today we want to see how we nest if inside if. For example, we have month of sales and inventories by stores. So we want to use this particular data of inventory and the months of sales to teach us nested function of if inside ifs, or and when to use them. We have size of square in feet. We have inventory values. We have sales last year's, sales this year, and change in sales, week of supply. We are now charged to know whether if this store is growing or not. In a case where it is not growing, you know what to do. So are we going to ship in those that are growing? How do we ship in? When to know the status of the shipping, when to ship in more goods, more products inside the store. And the inventory status, when you are taking stock, what do you do? And which stocks are you going to prioritize on? This is what we are going to find out here now. Taking for instance, we want to know the growth of stores by looking at using 5% as our minimum value. The growth of sales, like we want to find the growth of sales, you get the condition, the growth of these sales, no longer just by 5% growth. Let's check by 5% growth. There are two methods I will show you now. The first one is using if manually by typing everything. And the second one is by going to insert function and do it. Now, the condition is if the change in sales, we want to check if the growth in the store is improving or is it decreasing. Now, equal to sign. If change in sales, if equal to sign, if change in sales, which is in I column, is greater than or is greater than 5%. I don't want to make it equals to, let it be a greater than 5%. If it is greater than 5%, comma, let there be growth. In this case, you are using quotes because you are just typing a word called quote. You have to place this inside quote for the function, for the Excel developers to understand it, the logical function. Let it be that there is growth in this, comma. But if it is not less, if it is not up to that, if it is not greater than that 5%, let there be nothing there. You close your parenthesis, press enter. As you can see, you see there is growth here. For the second one now, you go to insert function. I just want to tell you two other ways you can quickly flash fill at the end of this first calculation to see other results. But I want to show you the bonus now that I want to show you, calculating it from insert function. We search if. We are looking for if. So we found if. Now, if function says now, if the change in cell is greater than 5%, what is the change in cell? This particular one. let's use the second rule. If this particular one is greater than 5%, is greater than 5%. Now, what do we do? Let there be a growth. But if there is nothing, if it is not up to 5%, you experience nothing. If you check and look at this, both of them present us the same answer. You see, the ones that is bearing growth now depicts what? That there is growth in these stores, that there is profit, the stores is growing. If you take a look at them, you see it is green in nature. It is highlighted with green, and green signify growth. So this is for this growth. Now, we want to work on our shipping status now. So, and we are going to work about the size in square feet and what? The weeks of supply. The weeks you supply this product and the size of the product you supplied, because you are talking about with your installs. Now, we want to know whether if there is need for us to bring more goods depending on the sizes of the shop now. But here now, there are more conditions. It's no longer just a straightforward condition like in growth. There are more conditions. And we have to nest. There is what we call nested function. We have to nest and within if. So that's what we want to bring in here now. So let's delve in. Equal to sign. If and the size in square meter is equal to 10,000 square meter. We are now talking about if it is equal to 10,000 square meter, comma, and the weeks of supply is up to 5. You get the weeks of supply is up to 5. Is greater than 5. Is greater than 5. You close your parenthesis, comma. Let the shipping hold. Let the shipping do what? Hold. But if it is not true, if it's not greater than 5 and it's not up to that 10,000 square meter, let it be okay, remain as it was, comma. You close your parenthesis, you press enter. For what we have now, it says okay. Now, the alternate way you can do this thing now is by going to insert function. For the second line, using the insert function, if and size in square meter. Size in square meter is this. Is equal to 10,000, comma, and your weeks of supply is greater than 5. You close your parenthesis. Now you say if this is true, you will now say if this is true, let the shipping hold. But if it is false, let it be okay. Now, so the argument is holding. So it's just 3 of these is holding here. where you use and as a nested function inside if. Then the inventory status, we want to work with the week of supply. We want to determine whether this inventory is moving high, or is it at the normal pace, or is it very low. Now, how do you do it? You go straight to insert function. If, using the logical test, the first logical test now is to nest if within if. That's what we want to have because there is more condition here now. We want to nest if within if. So we now say if the week of supply is less than 4. You can use less than or equal to 4, but I want us to use less than 4. Let the inventory status be low. But if it is false, we want to determine whether it is high, for it to be high and for it to be at the normal pace. Now, this is where we will now nest if function within if again. So you now type if the weeks of supply is greater than 8, comma, let the inventory status be high. Don't forget to use your double quote, comma. But if it is not false, if it is less than this, let it be normal. You click on OK. You can see there are places where it is high. If it is high at this point, it is high at this point. If it is high at this point. So this is how you check your inventory status. Nesting if inside if. So, okay, let's check the priority status of our inventory stores and the amount of sale. But we are using the change in sales we should to check. And now we have to next or gate inside if function because this is just true or false of our store. So for this case, we have to next or function inside if function. Within if function, we want to bring in or function because at this priority, we have to answer the question true or false. So go to your insert function, use your if function. Now bring in or, open bracket. Now change in cell is what we are using because if you check about the change in cell, if the change in cell is increasing, we have to prioritize our stores for this particular project in this particular branch. But if it is less than 2%, no, we will not prioritize it. For priority status, we want to check if there is growth, if we are doing well or we are doing very bad in these our particular stores. So we want to check using the change in cell to check whether we are progressing or not. So in this case, we are answering the question true or false. Hence, we are going to nest or function inside if function. Within if function, we bring in or function. We click on our insert function, select if function, now or the change in cell, open bracket, the change in cell. If it is greater than 7%, comma, or if it is less than 2%, the change in cell is less than 2%. To close the bracket, let it be prioritized. If not, leave it like that. We are not going to prioritize it, but we're going to find out whether our shop is growing or not. If you can see it now, the first one is greater than 7%, the change in cell, and is prioritized. Let's flash fill to see other ones. It is just one of these stores is not gonna be prioritized. You see it is telling us here now that the change in cell that is less than 2% here is prioritized. There is error somewhere. This is the only table that did not satisfy our function. because it is for those who are greater than 7% and less than 2%. That is our priority. And this particular one that is empty did not satisfy our priority. That is all for now about if inside if, and within if function, and or within if function. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that you will be notified whenever we drop a new video. Thank you for watching. See you.